Alright guys, welcome to today's video. There's quite a bit to go over today. If you're into gaming and you're interested in the latest PlayStation news, rumours and leaks, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the gaming community here on YouTube. So as we've seen over the past couple of weeks, more and more games are getting confirmed as being PS5 Pro-enhanced. Yesterday I briefly discussed Alan Wake 2, that the game had been confirmed as PS5 Pro-enhanced, and now today we have 3 more games confirmed as being enhanced for the PS5 Pro. So starting off with Stellar Blade, Shift Up has just released a significant update for Stellar Blade with patch 1.008, marking a major enhancement for players, particularly with the upcoming launch of the PlayStation 5 Pro on November the 7th. The update introduces a host of new features, most notably adding support for the more powerful PS5 Pro, and includes options specifically designed for those with 120Hz compatible monitors. One of the key additions in this update is the high frame rate mode, which promises to improve the game's responsiveness by minimizing input lag and boosting overall frame rate performance. This is a game changer for those using high refresh rate monitors, allowing them to enjoy smoother gameplay, especially in action-heavy sequences where every millisecond counts. So the key features of the update include PS5 Pro support, and this ensures that players will experience enhanced graphics and smoother gameplay when the mid-generation console upgrade hits the market in November. High frame rate mode, which is referred to as HFR, aimed at players with 120Hz output displays. This mode enhances frame rates for fluid, immersive action. To enable HFR mode, players need to use a display capable of 120Hz, activate the 120Hz output in the PlayStation 5 settings, and you do this by going into Settings, Screen and Video, and then change the video output settings. Another feature includes the graphics mode. This update includes a variety of graphics modes that offer different performance balances. Now there's a few here. So they've got Prioritize Performance, which is a mode focusing on maximizing the frame rate for smoother gameplay. They have a Balanced mode, which provides a balance between frame rate and resolution. We have a Prioritize Resolution mode, which prioritizes higher resolution for enhanced visual quality. And then we have Pro modes, and there's 2 Pro modes. One is called Pro mode, a balanced mode that leverages PlayStation's PSSR technology for superior image quality. And then we have Pro Mode Max, an enhanced version of the Prioritize Resolution mode, offering higher frame rates and visual fidelity specifically for the PS5 Pro. And this one seems to be my preferred mode when I try this game on the PS5 Pro. And of course, the update will also include minor bug fixes. As with most updates, this one also includes fixes to minor bugs to improve the overall gameplay experience. This update ensures that Stellar Blade is not only optimized for today's PS5 users, but also future-proofed for the PS5 Pro, delivering improved visuals and smoother performance for fans of the game. As well as Stellar Blade, we also have Dead Island 2, which joins the list of PS5 Pro enhanced titles. Dead Island 2 has specifically been added to the growing roster of games that now support the PS5 Pro, taking advantage of the console's enhanced hardware to deliver even more thrilling experiences for zombie slaying fans. Now, while specific details about the PS5 Pro enhancements for Dead Island 2 remain unconfirmed as of yet, the game's PlayStation Store page now bears the PS5 Pro Enhanced label, indicating that players can expect visual and performance improvements when the new console launches. This announcement comes alongside the release patch 6, which introduces exciting new content to Dead Island 2, including a Horde mode and new Game Plus mode. Though the patch notes don't yet specify how the game will utilize the extra power of the PS5 Pro, it's expected that enhancements like higher frame rates and improved resolution will be part of that offering. Given that the PS5 Pro launch is just around the corner, just over 2 weeks to be specific, the details of the PS5 Pro enhancements should emerge very soon. I also briefly mentioned earlier in the week that Lies of P will also be enhanced for the Pro. Now we have a little more detail as to what that looks like. The director of Lies of P goes on to share insights on the PS5 Pro enhancements. So the action-packed title Lies of P is another game confirmed to receive PS5 Pro support, and according to the game's director, Jiwon Choi, the upgrade console will deliver substantial improvements in both performance and visual quality. Speaking with Eurogamer, Choi outlined how the PS5 Pro will impact the game's 2 main modes, that is quality mode and performance mode. In the quality mode, we will receive a frame rate boost, offering more than a 30% increase in frames per second, which should result in smoother gameplay while maintaining high visual fidelity. The other mode is the performance mode, which will be able to deliver a full native 4K resolution, ensuring stunning visuals without compromising on the responsiveness. Choi emphasized how critical smooth rates are for an action RPG like Lies of P, especially when it comes to precision-based combat. And with the power of the PS5 Pro, Round 8 Studio has managed to maintain optimal frame rates even in 4K resolution, enhancing the fluidity and precision players need for intense combat encounters. Lies of P has already been well received since its release in September 2023, and with the PS5 Pro support on the horizon, the game's performance is set to be even more polished. In addition, Round 8 Studio has confirmed that they are working on future DLC and a sequel, which will likely continue to benefit from the improved hardware. And sticking with the theme of Pro-enhanced games, Naughty Dog is readying itself for the launch of the PS5 Pro with a new update for The Last of Us 2 Remastered, introducing support for the enhanced console along with a series of minor fixes. This update positions the remastered title as one of the key showcase games for the PS5 Pro, offering players an optimized experience that leverages the console's increased power. According to recent analysis by Digital Foundry, The Last of Us 2 Remastered will no longer require players to toggle between graphics and performance modes thanks to the new Pro mode. This mode uses PlayStation's cutting-edge machine learning upscaling technology, PSSR, allowing the game to run at 1440p but upscale to 4K. So you will not be able to tell the difference that you're not actually watching a 4K native picture. It's actually 4K upscaled from 1440p using the PS5 Pro technology. All of this while maintaining a steady 60 frames per second. So 4K 60, right? Players will still have access to the traditional performance and fidelity rendering modes, which will also benefit from higher frame rates and smoother gameplay on the PS5 Pro. It's worth noting that players will still need a PS5 Pro and a compatible display to output 4K resolution to use these enhanced features. This patch makes The Last of Us 2 Remastered a prime example of what players can expect from the PS5 Pro. And it's not alone. Other titles like the ones I've already mentioned, and also Dragon Age, The Veilguard, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and God of War Ragnarok are all slated to receive similar visuals and performance overhauls, and these are just the games that the developers are working on right now. As we speak, games are constantly being updated and developed for or being enhanced for the PS5 Pro. So as time goes on, we will see more and more games enhanced for the PS5 Pro. As the PS5 Pro release draws nearer and nearer, players have a lot more to look forward to with these enhanced versions of their favorite games. So just another snapshot there of some games that are Pro enhanced, offering stunning visuals at 60 frames per second. Okay guys, if you're enjoying the video and the content on the channel, don't forget to hit that like button. That really helps out a whole bunch. And if you want to go the extra mile and support me as a content creator, consider becoming a channel member to unlock some exclusive perks. Thank you for watching and for all your support on the channel. Let's move on. The narrative around PlayStation exclusivity impacting game sales continue to stir debates. It's a constant theme that we hear, right? PlayStation exclusivity is killing game sales. You hear that quite a lot. But there's some sales data to actually counter that argument. Recent sales data indicates that the platform remains a top choice for gamers, even with multi-platform releases. So an example of this is the recent Silent Hill 2 remake, which has seen the majority of its sales occur on the PS5, challenging the notion that exclusivity negatively impacts a game's commercial success. According to Chris Dring of GamesIndustry.biz via ResetEra, a staggering 78% of Silent Hill 2 sales in Europe, not including the UK, occurred on the PlayStation 5, while only 22% were on PC. That's embarrassing, isn't it, really? Don't PC gamers play games? I mean, from what I've been reading in the comments, the way hardcore PC gamers were talking about gaming, shouldn't we be seeing at least 50% sales on PC? 22% PC sales. That is embarrassing. The sales data includes both physical and digital copies, demonstrating the PS5's significant lead over other platforms in terms of market share. While this is just one region of the global market, the numbers are compelling and speak to PlayStation 5's strong foothold in the gaming industry. Some speculate that the disparity between the PS5 and PC sales for Silent Hill 2 could be linked to the game's demanding PC hardware requirement. However, this theory does little to explain the overwhelming preference for the PS5 version, suggesting that other factors such as a more streamlined console experience could be at play. This trend is not limited to just Silent Hill 2. Square Enix faced a similar situation with Final Fantasy 16, where despite many claims that the PS5 exclusivity hurt game sales, its subsequent launch on PC failed to generate significant buzz. Even though Final Fantasy 16 was eventually made available on PC, the sales numbers didn't soar as expected. In fact, it was a bloody flop on PC, suggesting that exclusivity isn't necessarily the root cause of underperformance on certain platforms. And right now, Shift Up, the developer of Stellar Blade, is gearing up to launch the game on PC. It remains to be seen how well Stellar Blade performs on a platform where full-price titles traditionally face more challenges in terms of sales compared to consoles like the PS5. Well, the PC sales of Stellar Blade certainly will be interesting reading when they are made available. Any PC gamers care to comment about this? Why are the sales poor on PC for Silent Hill 2 and for Final Fantasy 16? Let me know in the comments. Let's move on. Ubisoft has been undergoing a significant shift in strategy following a series of underwhelming game releases. One of the most notable moves is the company's decision now to cancel the season pass for Assassin's Creed Shadows and scrap its early access plans, signaling a potential change in how the publisher approaches post-launch content. In addition to the shakeup, Ubisoft also confirmed a $50 price reduction for its Assassin's Creed Shadows Collector's Edition, which is now priced at $229, down from $279. Wow, I didn't realize it was that expensive. I know it's a collector's edition, but it's still expensive. $230 now if you want to buy the Assassin's Creed Collector's Edition. Still pretty pricey if you ask me. This announcement was made through a Discord post and appears to be part of Ubisoft's re-evaluation of its pricing and content delivery strategies. Following the disappointing performance of Star Wars Outlaws, the Collector's Edition, which includes various physical items and in-game bonuses, has struggled to generate the excitement Ubisoft had hoped for, prompting the company to lower its price. Season passes and early access have become staples in the gaming industry over the past few years, allowing developers and publishers to monetize additional content while keeping players engaged long after the game's initial release. Despite this, Ubisoft's recent moves suggest that the company has recognized the limitations of relying solely on brand power and extras to sell games, particularly when the base game fails to impress. Ubisoft is currently facing internal and external challenges as well. More than 700 employees across several offices are striking following the company's decision to transition remote workers back into the office, a move that has caused significant unrest. Additionally, the company is entangled in a lawsuit over allegations of sharing user data with Meta, and there are ongoing rumors of a potential buyout as shareholders grow dissatisfied with the management of the Gillemette family. To add to Ubisoft's woes, the company faced backlash over the design of the Assassin's Creed Shadows Collector's Edition statue, which was deemed insensitive and had to be pulled from distribution. With these challenges in mind, Ubisoft has a long way to go to regain its former glory. It's a mess, isn't it? Let's be honest. Ubisoft is a mess right now. It's just not the company that it used to be. It's a shadow of its former self. One thing that it has in its favor is that it owns an incredible amount of IP. The lineup of IP that it has is quite valuable. If only its execution was better. I know there's talks of a full buyout. I think it's from Tencent, but if Ubisoft could partner with someone like PlayStation or Rockstar Games, or someone renowned for delivering top quality AAA games, I feel it would do a much better job in handling some of the older IP like Splinter Cell, The Division, Watch Dogs. Really good IP, but they just need to partner with someone who can deliver to that level. Anyway, let's move on. So fans eagerly awaiting Amazon Prime God of War TV adaptation were hit with unexpected news recently when it was revealed that the show had lost its original creative team. Sony and Amazon have now decided to take the series in a new direction, parting ways with the showrunner. This was reported last week. Rafe Judkins and writers Hawk Otsby and Mark Fergus left the production setup. The decision marks a fresh start for the much anticipated project, which had previously seen little development for several months. The recent report by Deadline confirmed that Sony and Amazon wasted no time in appointing a replacement to lead the series. Veteran showrunner Ronald D. Moore has been appointed into the position to lead development of God of War for TV. Ronald D. Moore, known for his work on critically acclaimed series like Outlander and For All Mankind, signed a multi-year deal with Sony earlier this year, and his experience in creating epic, character-driven narratives seems to align with the direction Sony and Amazon now want to take with God of War. While no specific details have emerged about the new vision for the series, it's clear that Sony and Amazon were impressed by the script submitted by the previous team, but ultimately felt that a different creative direction was needed. It will be interesting to see how Moore reimagines the project and what changes he brings to the table, as fans of God of War remain hopeful that the beloved video game franchise will migrate well into a television series. They definitely need to ensure this game, being a PlayStation flagship game, receives all the love and attention that it needs. Just take your time and get it right. You can't afford to screw this one up. Let's move on. Bungie, the studio behind the Destiny franchise, is entering a new era as it officially merges part of its team with PlayStation Studios. Bridget O'Neill, formerly of Bungie, announced in a LinkedIn post that she will now serve as the Senior Director of Creative at PlayStation Studios, signaling Bungie's deeper integration into Sony's ecosystem. Bungie Creative Studios is joining PlayStation Studios to build the foundation for a creative team that can support all PlayStation live service games, O'Neill stated. Her announcement marks a significant step in Sony's broader push into the live service game market, which has become increasingly competitive over the last few years. O'Neill reflected on a time at Bungie, particularly working on Destiny, and expressed excitement for the new opportunities ahead. She goes on to say that this opportunity to share our experience working on Bungie titles with other studios that are building live service games is so exciting. Live service is hard and it comes with a unique set of challenges. So with PlayStation and Bungie working together, we will be able to give a huge jumpstart on development for new games. Bungie's expertise in live service games is undoubtedly a valuable asset for PlayStation Studios as Sony looks to expand its portfolio in this genre. Bungie had already begun laying off 220 employees earlier this year, while integrating more into Sony Interactive Entertainment, with 155 employees being moved over to PlayStation. This merger reflects Sony's strategic plan to create a robust foundation for its live service game development, positioning itself to compete in this fast evolving market. I thought this was an interesting move from Sony, clearly planned from the offset when Bungie was acquired by PlayStation, and I think it's a good move long term. You can clearly see what the plan is, right? I mean, as first party studios go ahead and develop their, what I call their bread and butter, which is their single player staple of games, this new live service creative studio will support how the game's live service elements or even multiplayer elements are developed. So they're involved from the ground up across all of the Sony first party studios, and that can only be a good thing, surely. Hopefully helping to ensure we get good multiplayer elements in some of the worlds that are currently being built by Sony first party studios. Rather than bringing Bungie in at certain dates to kind of advise and consult at various stages of development, it looks like the internal team is set to champion live service, and they will be involved throughout all stages of development to advise and counsel on live service. That's a good thing, isn't it, right? I'm not an advocate for live service gaming. I hate it. I can't stand live service. I would rather prefer single player games, but you can see how the industry is changing. Sony will always produce and make single player games so long as they sell. So long as they can sell 10, 15, 20 million copies of Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man, The Last of Us, and all these other games that they generally make, right? If they can continue to sell that, they will continue to make them. That's not a problem. But it's not enough. It's not enough money to continue developing AAA games and sustain the level of quality, because gaming costs a lot of money. So the only other way to do this is by bringing in more revenue. Now you imagine a world like The Last of Us or a world like Horizon. Once the single player game is done, what happens to that world? Nothing. So if there was an option of being able to play in that world, which is what the Last of Us live service game was supposed to be, right? It was supposed to be a live service game in the world of The Last of Us. A brilliant idea. The Naughty Dog team didn't want to continue spending 5 to 10 years making content for that game, and that still concerns me. Making content, who's responsible for that? Is it going to be this new creative studio, or is it going to be the first party studio, the Sony studio? That's still the bit that needs clarity. But as I said, I can't really stand live service games. They're not for me. But if they're going to go ahead and push forward with additional games that are aimed at a different audience to offer different styles of games, that's okay. It just brings in more money for the studios and for the business to reinvest into the studios. At least if they have their internal development studio set up correctly, they'll be able to ensure that they give themselves the best chance of success. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below about the topics we have discussed today in the video. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you on the next video.